Hello. Hello, Bo. I would respond back to you, but when I try to respond back to you, I get this. Here's your just so because I always tell you that they keep blocking me here. So I'm hitting this just to respond back, and it's telling me I don't have permission. Let me see. Well, it let me give you the star. It let me give the star, but to respond back, I mean, I don't have a strike or anything, but just to reply, is it? Huh, for me to try and reply back. Where's the dang on reply? I'm trying to hit it from the side. All right, here. Literally will not let me respond back. You don't have permission to access this feature. Why wouldn't I be able to respond back to somebody who left me a comment? When I tell you that they're blocking me because people are very interested in me running for president of the United States, no one in America is going to want Tim Walz and Vice President Kamala Harris. They're not going to want him. The simple fact, they're just going to make more people vote for Donald Trump, if anything. I'm not going to vote for either one. Because Kamala Harris, one, she doesn't have a platform. Her platform was Biden's platform. And it's just amazing that the people who are responding back to me, the people who are seeing that I'm running for president and that I'm going to keep talking while I try to print a letter. The people who are interested in my campaign that actually want to hold on, that actually want to vote for me, they're being deprived of doing that. And it's not because I'm not a viable candidate. It's strictly because the YouTube, Google is just blocking me from printing. Blocking me from having my stuff out there and getting it seen. And it's just not right. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't take place. But this is what they're doing. And again, I'm still registering to in the other states so that my name, even if it's not on the ballot, my name will actually be what is this? Why is this doing this? Okay. Why am I getting this? Oh, all right. So even if it's not on the ballot, they list that I am actually running and registered to run for president of the United States, so people can write my name in. So I haven't really got around to like pushing that part of it, and but it is senseless. It's the exact opposite of democracy. Let the people choose. It's the exact opposite. There is a case, this case right here, because I know you guys can still see it, even though I'm looking at a different screen. And this case is the United States of America versus Google. Well, Google owns Google owns YouTube, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Maps, Google Photos, Google Play, YouTube. They own those things. But that's literally this lawsuit right here, which was filed August 5th, 2024. They list the findings of Larry. Let's see. First of all, the parties in the lawsuit or the states. Number one and number two. Let me see if I can hold that straight. And then the other party is Alphabet Inc. A lot of times when I'm talking and I'll say Alphabet Inc. and then I say they own Google and they own all the Google franchises and they own YouTube. Zuckerberg owns the WhatsApp, Facebook, or Meta, and Instagram. And then I forget the other man who owns TikTok. They're a Korean. I think they're Korean, um, or from China or Korea. And so that's everything right there in a bubble. Um, 1998 at Stanford University, Larry Page, right up top here. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Brin, started it. They left school and they started Alphabet, which is Google. It's a GSE, General Search Engine, is really what Google is. Okay, so then they hired, I can never pronounce his last name, Sundar Pichai or Pichai, as the CEO of Alphabet. So these are the people, when I'm saying I'm going to sue and I'm going to take people to court, see the executive, and it's just this paragraph right here. So it began as a GSE, a general search engine, and then it spread out into everything. And so now every platform for Android and Apple, all of these, let me go back to the parties, all of those companies, which they list in here, they're suing them because you can't say anything, you can't do anything, you can't, nothing can you do without Alphabet encroaching upon it and stopping it. And so this lawsuit is because I keep saying they're blocking my URL. They're blocking my URL. I've been saying it for a year, maybe even a year and a half. And they're still doing it. So what difference does it make if I say I'm running for president and you send it to everybody in the world? If they love Kamala Harris, that's who they're going to vote for. If they love Donald Trump, that's who they're going to vote for. But there's more of us that don't want these people. Why? Because they're taking over our country. And the real reason behind people not wanting Kamala Harris, that's why I tell people about voting for Joe Biden, is Joe Biden is worse of a racist than Donald Trump. But he was not presented that way. He was presented as the good guy from PA, Pennsylvania. All right. So we see why I can't, I don't have a restriction, but I can't respond back to somebody who writes to me. This is my letter from the state of New Jersey, Division of Elections. And this is just to notify people. I received it August 6th that I am able to be a write-in candidate. And you know what? Maybe I should have highlighted that. So in the state of New Jersey, let me undo that. I will have the rest of the letters from the other places, or an email from the other places to show you, and I'm going to do a commercial. So where I highlighted it, dear Ms. Harris, our office is in receipt of your email regarding your request to be a write-in candidate as United States President. Please be advised that it is possible for you to be a write-in candidate for the 2024 presidential election as long as your name does not otherwise appear on the ballot for the same office, and it does not. Okay? There is no formal action required to be a write-in candidate since your name is not printed on the ballot. New Jersey voting machines allow any voter the option of writing a personal choice for any office. And then they leave a number for me to call. So I am very serious about running for president of the United States. I know I say it and things are slow. My campaign members really can't help me do this type of paperwork that I have to do myself. And I've run a campaign to be president of the United States with only contributions. I'm not asking for pay me so I can go here, pay me so I can do this. If you're interested in having a different choice, then your options are, we're still watching Woody bang his head in the YSL trial. Your options are to take these videos and take my shorts and send them where they need to go. So I've not counted myself out, because there are people all over the states now that say, oh, wait, mate, there is another Harris. Not to confuse me with her, because neither one of us use Harris. I use Golda for president. She uses Kamala for president. The fact that she has put Tim Walz on the ticket should be a disaster. Guess who's happy about that? The people who own the platforms are very, very happy. Tim Walz, when he was in Congress, because a lot of people don't know, they were both in Congress, and the things that they're saying they're going to accomplish as now president and vice president, they didn't accomplish in the Congress. And they'll say, oh, but that was because of the Republicans. No, you all voted on the bills together. So if you move into Tim Walz's state, you can, where's the state? What state is Tim Walz from? You can establish a residence, you can vote, and you can go to school. They give you food stamps and food stamps, Medicaid, and $10,000 per person start out money in this country. I don't know how many subscribers I have, because people subscribe and YouTube is not telling me. What state is Tim Walz from? Okay. Minnesota? Yes, Minnesota. Okay. So he's been the governor, elected in 2018, and then he won re-election in 2020 for Minnesota. I don't know. I said Montana. All right. I don't want to do this video to go too much further, but we do not want Kamala Harris. It's funny how people were so accepting of the fact that they didn't want Vivek Ramaswamy. Vice President Kamala is a DACA. Her parents came here and had a baby, had their children here. That is literally the same thing that the DACA parents did. And when I tell you there's not going to be any room, there's going to be no room for breathing. There's not going to be any room in the towns. And if you all think that these people are going to come here and stay in the city, they're not. That's why their own homes are overrun. That's why their own countries are overrun with people and kids and babies and seniors. They're not going to stop at the hotels, which are overrun, the motels, which are overrun, the shelters, which are overrun. They're not going to stop there. That's just them getting in to get a hand up and a start. They're going to overrun the colleges, the HBCUs. HBCU, colleges and universities. They're going to overrun the job market. They're going to overrun the car industry, the insurance industry. See, they're going to make that money here. So Americans, I don't care if you're Black. I don't care if you're Spanish. I don't care if you are an immigrant that came here under whatever circumstances, Jamaican, Haitian, African, Italian, Cuban. If you came here legally and you've been here and you've made your mark, the people that Vice President Kamala Harris are going to allow to come into this country. Whether you're from Pakistan or Gaza, Bank, it doesn't matter where you're from. Whether you're from Israel, it does not matter where you're from. Your business is going to be adversely affected. So putting in Trump and putting in Kamala is the same thing. Not worse, voting for the worst of the two. She doesn't have a record to run on, so her record is to run on Tim Walz's record. Now, he can go to his state and provide all of that he provided in his state. Why couldn't he provide it when he was in the Senate? Because, see, he's not a progressive candidate, what they call progressive. He's a moderate that did not lean enough toward the people. But he has a homeless problem with Americans in Minnesota. Why? Because there's so many illegal migrants there. And the legal migrants can go to school and have housing. And I mean, they're paying. They're literally paying for illegal migrants. When I say they, I mean the federal government with our tax dollars. Because eventually we won't be able to say that. It'll be the federal government with their tax dollars. But see, they don't pay federal taxes. Only we pay federal taxes. But once they allow them to vote and establish a residency, they have to go through a process of either getting a work permit or a green card. But they worked around it. They're still not paying into the federal government, but our government is making an investment. That's what they're doing. So I can't be happy about either party that's trying to replace Americans. Some Americans need to be replaced because they're racist and they're spiteful and they're a bunch of criminals. They don't want to do any better, and we keep housing them to put them in prison, and instead of having programs for people to go into. See, if I'm president, people who sell drugs aren't going to like me, because I'm going to take those people and put them in jobs or put them in training, and every week they can come and get some drugs to tide them over for that week until it weans them off. See, that's what you do when you want to confront, control, and eradicate drug addiction in your country. You don't let it come in and then say, well, we got the police and the army to go out and get rid of people so that, and collect it. And then we collect a scintilla of the drugs that are coming in, but the rest of them are just flowing in through all these other avenues. So that war that I said is coming is going to come. Nobody's going to win because people are going to be harmed, and people in the government are going to be harmed because American citizens are going to realize it's like it's happening, and nobody wants to vote for the person that's saying it's happening. And again, I said in my last video, I'm not running to punish businesses, to punish companies, to raise taxes on companies. I'm not running for that at all. I'm not running to raise taxes or lower taxes. Whatever's there is there. My 4 years and my intention is to bring Americans out of poverty, give people a chance to start businesses. And that's what those weekly payments for. Pay that debt. Make sure our farms have grants. Those are things that I'm going to be doing. Get rid of those judges and make the court work the way it is set up to work. I don't have to reinvent anything, and I have to go through Congress for anything. But you all are worrying about what type of little thing, bling bling on the earrings, costume jewelry that I'm wearing, and that you can see my arm and stuff. I'm grandfathered in. And I physically, I cannot work. But when you're president of the United States, you don't have to do a lot of physical. You don't have to do any physical exerting things that wouldn't allow me to just do what I'm doing here and sit and read documents and make sure the people that are doing what I need them to do it and do it legally. But yeah, I get comments from, I'll get comments and it'll show that I have comments. And then when I go look at the comments won't be there. I think I showed that video the other day. So I'm not saying anything where I need to be scrutinized to the point where you should not be sending my information out. Because people in America don't really know how our elections work. They don't realize that you can write in a candidate, and if enough people in that state writes me in as a candidate, the delegates must go to your write-in candidate. That is the law. It must go to me. So those people who are electors who pledged to vote for Donald Trump and who pledged to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, that's fine. But when the people say, we want Golda D. Harris for president, and you write my name in and I get more votes than the two of them, the delegates have to come to me. That's how it works. And I keep telling people, your power is in your finger. It's in your little fingers. If you're looking for perfection in a person, you're not going to find it. Even the fact that I've been in prison for crimes I didn't commit, and that's still an ongoing process because we can't find records from my trial that's supposed to be in long storage, which proves my innocence. Electronic records, which are never erased, we can't find them all of a sudden. So that's still an ongoing thing. And that's one of the things where I have pardon power. And I can release people where the government says, oh, we can't find your records. That's a federal constitutional violation, because those records are supposed to be maintained. And then you can get all of this stuff wiped away and have a pardon and get it taken out of there, get your name out of their system. Americans, no matter what race you are, do you want to keep paying higher interest? I did a video the other day, and the secretary or the director from the treasurer was testifying, and he said before Congress, and Senator Kennedy was asking him to explain inflation, and he said inflation was because of supply and demand, the adverse effects of supply and demand. And I had somebody chew me down that's not what that's from. I have a business and yada, 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 yada. It's still in my old comments right now. How am I going to pay extra money? How am I going to pay a minimum wage when the cost of my business is going up? And I tried to explain to them, the cost for your business has gone up because supply and demand is off kiltered. And he and another one, like two or three of them, they went on and on and on. You stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. And so here it is. Maybe that was 9 months ago, right? Let's just say a year to 9 months ago. Here it is. You have the person whose job it is, the director at the Treasury Department, testify before Congress what I've been saying. See, you people that have so much to say because you don't realize to put a regular American in as the president of the United States, someone like myself, who I don't have the racism issues. I don't have the hatred for our police officers who are about to be switched out for the migrants. I don't have the we must enter into a war in 2024, that we have to enter into a war and send trillions of our dollars to other countries. Otherwise, they're going to blow us up. They would never get rid of their cash cow. And North America is a cash cow. I don't have the false premises that America is number one. We're actually number 42, 47 on the worldwide stage of the best countries to live in. We're down at number 42 or 47 somewhere. And that was the last time I looked, about 2 years ago. It hasn't gotten better, it's gotten worse. So I don't have that America's first. I believe in trade. I believe in embargoes. But you got Palestinians here. You have Cubans here. You have Venezuelans here. And I mean the ones that are legally here, that can vote, that have been here. And your country is war torn, but there's no embargo on the people that are doing it. Excuse me for 1 second. Um, I can't remember the guy's name. I watched a show. Let me see if I pull it up. Yes, I said this was going to be a few minutes, but it's not. Let me see if I can find it. I just looked at it. There was a guy talking about Israel and the yeah, here it is. He's a former UN United Nations ambassador. His name is Hussam Zamlet, Husam Zamlot, Zomlot. Okay, so he was talking, and he said that so the guy, the mediator, asked him about. I'm going to print it so I can see it. The mediator, or the interviewer, I'm sorry, asked him about why is it showing like this? Get from in front of me. Document. He asked him about Donald Trump, and he said Donald Trump got rid of me as the UN ambassador. Oops, I don't know what he thinks is going to happen with Kamala, because Kamala's husband is going to influence her heavily. And if anybody thinks not, you're delusional. If you think that Doug Emhoff is not going to influence his wife's decision to continue to send more money. What the? If you come on. Here it is. Okay, here we go. I don't like this new app. I don't. I got to get rid of it because it's so irritating. If you think that Doug Emhoff is not going to influence his wife to continue the war in Gaza, to continue the war against Jerusalem and West Bank, if that's what you think, you're very delusional. And that's going to cost us more money. I just want to show you. Okay, so it's finally printing. So he said that Donald Trump got rid of him and as a UN ambassador, and gave more money to Netanyahu. Oh hell! I didn't know that was out like that. Damn it! Printing up my black ink. Okay, Hussam, Hussein, or Hussam. I'm thinking it's Hussein. Get out of there. Zomlot. Write the name down. Okay, that's the name. Let me get out of that. Okay, that's the name. So he's speaking and literally just kind of almost said word for word exactly what I was saying in the videos that I had watched. And one of the things is that they're saying that the people in Gaza want a two-state solution. And I've been saying for years, no, they do not. But the good thing about this, and I save this, is because it really gives the details and the years and not a mixed story. You are never going to have a two-state solution. They tried it back when Clinton, and this is the video that I did, that I was talking about this in that video, when I said Bill Clinton got them to come together to get a two-state solution, and then somebody killed one of their leader. It's never going to be a two-state solution. Why should it be a two-state solution where Israel tells another country what to do? Or Israel is over the territory of Jerusalem. We would not live like that. Do you think that we're the United States, but Russia is in charge of us? They tell us if we can eat, when we can eat, how we can eat, how much of it. Like, this is unrealistic and unsustainable. So there has to be an embargo so that Israel gets out of there. And the only way that's going to happen is if they stop getting financial help from the United States to kill and murder Palestinians and Muslims. And as long as we keep feeding that, it's never going to stop. They also need to be, he said something else. He said that they should be part of the UN. Who's been saying that? They need to be part of the UN. Russia needs to be part of the UN, right? When you make them part of the UN, they have to follow the rules of the UN. And if someone commits a war crime, then it's punishable. You don't punish the country. You get rid of the leader. And then people can select their own leader in these countries. A lot of people do not want to stay in this country. You probably think I'm foolish for saying it, but a lot of these people love their country. They want their home. They want their customs. They want their culture. They don't want to come here and have to adapt to America's. Some of them want to come here and even change it. Foolishly. You're not going to change America. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. It's going to come to a head, and I am going to go at 35 because this is 33 minutes. But you're squeezing and you're squeezing and you're squeezing, and people can't afford food. $200 is at the point where it buys you 10 items. People can't afford it. They're cutting food stamps for Americas, and they're giving. Please, somebody explain to me why illegal migrants have $10,000 and $9,000 and $10,000 in food stamps. Why? They give us $322 if you got 2 kids and yourself. If not, you get 172 or 182 with 1 kid and yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 165 it last time. It might, that I know of. It might have gone up to like 182. And if you don't have a child and it's just you by yourself, $50. I saw a YouTube channel. I can't remember it, but there was a veteran, and he was getting his veterans payment, and he was getting $23 in food stamps. $23. I'm gonna go, because you know, until it's on your door, until it's knocking on your door, and till your pension is cut, because they got to stop money from the state program. They can't send money from the federal program down to the state program, because people think the state program that's administering the federal funds, that money comes from the state. It does not. It comes from the federal government that has been allocated down to the states. The state is administering it. The only thing that taxes are paying locally or SALT, state local taxes, like your sales tax in your state. But a portion of that goes back to the government, federal government too. All right, I gotta go. State and local taxes. So have a good day. I'm Golda Harris. I'm running for president of the United States in the 2024 general election. I am a write-in candidate. Write my name.